Okay, just while I'm greasing my cable on this TFL rocket, I thought I'd do a quick video about one-piece cable versus two-piece cables like TFL like to use. Anyone old school, this is not going to be news to them, but I'm going to say probably, out of our 30,000 or close to 40,000 subscribers, I'm going to say probably 1% of people are actually going to know this. There's just so many people that buy one boat and then they're an expert and they're starting to, they create a channel and tell people how they should be doing things and whatnot. But because I started doing this way before, TFL were making boats and before Traxxas were making boats, Pro-Boat were making boats, you had to, if you want anything fast back in the 90s, you had to build it yourself. So you got to learn a few of the little things that people just take for granted now. All TFL boats have a two-piece cable, okay, instead of the one-piece. All your Traxxas are one-piece, Pro-Boat are one-piece. Every other brand is one-piece, really. Two-piece, if I pull this out, you've got to remove the strut to get a cable out of the two-piece cable. What happens is, rather than being welded, there's a square in there and that fits into the square. Now, two-piece is actually better. There's one reason why one piece is better, and there's about 5 reasons why two-piece are better. The one reason is it's easy to change the cable, or to grease the cable to get it out. To get the cable out on one piece, you just undo the collar and the whole lot slides out, the prop and everything. And when you're lazy like me, sometimes too lazy to even grease the cable, a lot of the times I'll just put the boat up like that and spray CRC onto my cable while I have it spinning, while I have the throttle on low, and just spray CRC down there because I can't be bothered just taking the nut off to get the cable out. So yeah, I'm pretty bad like that. If I had a two-piece cable like this style, it's even more work because I got to pull the strut off to get the cable out. But that's where the advantages of one-piece stops. In the two-piece, if you were to break that cable, this is still attached. Like there's this cannot come out of there. The only way to get this out is you take this off, take this off, take this off, and go that way. So cable breaks, you can't lose it. Secondly, this part is actually stronger than a weld. I've never ever broken on a 3/16 or 1/4 inch. I've never actually broken that joint ever. On smaller ones where they're only 4 mil cable, yes, they are weaker. They will crack through the corner and then open up, and then the cable will spin in there. But from 3/16 and definitely in a 1/4, this is stronger than a weld or a solder. Although, pretty much all of these that you buy now, they're all really strong now. So that's not really a reason you would swap. This can be welded out of balance. That's definitely a possibility. They heat things up. Things can move. When they're heated up, go out of balance. This is always going to be balanced. Okay, this is a CNC machine part, so the square is always going to be in the right spot. And the center of the cable is always going to be in the center of the square. The main reason is thrust. Where the thrust point is on the one-piece cable and the two-piece cable are totally different. With a one-piece, your thrust point is at the motor. The cable or propeller is always trying to push the motor out of the boat. So it's always trying to push your motor mount out. It's always trying to ruin your bearings in your motor. Always trying to wear them out because it's always loaded. When you have a two-piece one, all the push is here. So that's why you've got to have that little washer. A better way to do it again is this bearing. So you've got this style of bearing in here, and you've got a plate on either side, and that runs on that. So you don't need your gap for shrinkage because this cable can slide in and out a little bit. On your one piece, you got to leave the rule is the same size as the cable. So if it's a 3/16 cable, you leave a 3/16 gap. That is way overkill. Something this short, there's no way it's going to shrink, the width of the cable. If it was twice as long as that, that's when you've got to leave a bigger gap, like you say your 3/16 gap. But really, just 2 mil is all right for for this, but that's just going off track. You're not going to have the problem with the cable shrinking and binding up, but with the two-piece, the thrust point being at the back of the boat actually makes the boat handle better. When the thrust point is here, it's actually trying to lift the boat. It's doing it from a third of the way along of the boat. That's where it's pushing it from. Whereas from here, it's trying to push from the back, and it's trying to push straight. The other thing is, the longer the cable is, the more this affects it. The whip of the cable can cause the boat to do that. In most boats, I'm probably not going to leave this like this. I am going to go to a one-piece because, like I said, I'm lazy. Also, those effects of the boat lifting up and that are more for, you know, the real fast stuff. And definitely more for like cats as well. Your motor's going to be sort of further forward more in a cat, definitely in a hydro, you know, that whip problem with the inertia of the cable. And monos, not so much. And I don't have any real fast boats because I don't have anywhere to use them. All the lakes around here are too small. So everything I've got is, you know, 90, 100 kilometers an hour, and that's it. But in anything fast, this is an advantage, 100%.